folks, today we're doing a box opening of Vampire the Eternal Struggle 10th Anniversary Set 2 tin. And celebrating, it's the exact same as the other tin. Excluding, outside's different. Of course, the cards are going to be different. Anyways, let's open her up. Wow. So I don't think you can see the shimmer, but the blood has a nice shimmer to it. So, Vilada Priestess, Camarilla, Yuria Winter. Oh, there's a lot here. Camarilla, if you pray has more pool than you do at the beginning of your untapped phase, he or she takes control of Ulaha during your untapped phase. Umahatch, Tiberius, the Scandalmonger. Camarilla, if Tiberius is ready during your untapped phase, you may look at the top card in your praise library. Handy. Tirza Rosta, Independent. She may steal the edge from another Methuselah as a direct action that costs 2 blood. Titiana, Camarilla, Prince of Hudson, +1 bleed. Sylvester Sims, Camarilla Primogen, if he goes into your Tapor, each Methuselah burns 1 blood. Handy. Sir Walter Nash, Shane Grimald, Sabat. Really? I thought that was cool. Sebastian Marley, Camarilla, +1 strength. Sarah Cobbler, Sammy. Sabine Lafitte, Camarilla, during your untapped phase, you may move 1 blood from Sabine to any controlled Tremere. Roland, he's just a Camarilla. Ricky Von Demise, Camarilla. Richard Tauber, Alina Puppet, Sabat. Richard gets -1 intercept when attempting to block a La Sombra and Smeetsies. Rex the Necromist, Sabat. Combat cards cost Rex an additional blood to pay. Giovanni Independent may bleed your predator as a direct action +1 bleed. Kieran the Birch Queen, Sabat, +1 bleed. Osmio, Camarilla, +1 bleed. Normal? Really? That guy's name's Normal? Okay. Normal. Camarilla. Navarre McLean. Camarilla. Navarre cannot block older vampires. Nashta Volfchek, Camarilla Primogen. Nashta gets +1 stealth on political action, +1 bleed. Monique Sabat. Savona, Camarilla Primogen. Other Bruja get -1 intercept when attempting to block her. Melissa Barton, Camarilla, if any Methuselah burns the edge for a vote, she gains 1 blood. Blah, blah. Marty, Camarilla Primogen, once each combat Marty may burn 1 blood to get 1 press. Oh, look at the art on this. This is killer. It looks like Lady Gaga. That is Lady Thunder, Camarilla. Before range is chosen in combat that does not involve Morella, she may tap to end the combat and inflict 1 unpreventable damage to each other combatant and any other retainer they have after combat ends. Von Cooling, Camarilla, +1 bleed. Lupo, Camarilla. Justine Elder of Dallas, Camarilla Primogen. Justine does not untap when blocking a vampire with a capacity below 4. Julius, Camarilla, if Julius goes into Tarpor, burn him. Jingwang, Camarilla. Jimmy Doon. Sabat, Jimmy Doon cannot be contested if a second Jimmy comes into play. Burn the first Jimmy in play instead of contesting him. Eagle the Hungry. Camarilla, Eagle does not get the usual +1 stealth when hunting. Hector Souza, Camarilla. Heather Florent, the Opportunist. Camarilla, if you gain blood from the edge, you may move it to Heather instead of putting it in your pool. Gunther Beastlord, Camarilla, during your discard phase, Gunther may burn 1 blood to untap. Gerald, the Worm Eater, Camarilla, while Gerald is ready, you may look at the top of your crypt. Gideon Fontaine, Camarilla. Francis, Camarilla, he may burn without going into torpor if he takes more than 3 damage during a single combat. Bridges, Camarilla, Prince of Washington, D.C. Iliot Sinkar, Virtuous Thinspan. Well, obviously you must have got picked up because of your art skills, because that mug. Camarilla Primogen, +1 strength. Duck, Camarilla. Dr. Jest, Camarilla Primogen, if Dr. Jest untapped at the start of your turn, then during your untap phase, you may take your prey, discard the card at random from his or her hand, and draw back up to his or her hand side afterwards. Don Cruz, the Idealist. Camarilla Bruja, just a card, 1 each combat. Don Cruz may burn 1 blood to get 1 maneuver. Dollface, Camarilla, awesome looking. Dimple, Camarilla. Slatter, Camarilla. Oop, as she falls. Delha, Easton, Camarilla. Nancion, Diana, Camarilla, +1 strength. Crusher, Camarilla, Primogen. Once each combat, Crusher may dodge a strike that costs 1 blood at 1 strength. Christopher Giovanni, Independent. Colin Flynn, Camarilla. Christian Boski, Sabat. Christian gets -1 intercept when attempting to block a bleed action. Cassandra, Magus Prime, Camarilla, Primogen. If Cassandra is ready, your hand size increased by 1 strength. Crazy. Cardano, Camarilla, Prince of Boston. Bianca, Camarilla, +1 strength. Bearpaw. Bellissia, Camarilla, Primogen. Damage from Bellissia's hand strike is aggressive. Badger, Camarilla. Anaki, Camarilla, Tordor, just a card. Anaki may attempt to block a vampire controlled by another Methuselah, ignoring the normal prey, predator, or target restrictions for blocking actions +1 bleed. Angus the Unruled, he's a Gangrel, just a card from the Camarilla, and he gets +1 strength. Andrel Puxon, Independent. Andres the Bard of Crete. Camarilla Primogen, once each turn, Andres may burn 1 blood to get +1 intercept for the current actions. Anesthesia Gray, Camarilla. Ardinia, Camarilla, +1 bleed. Rite of Acceptance, Equipment. The vampire with an equipment is considered a Camarilla vampire. The Sister of King's Seal, unique item. Vampires with capacity above 7 cannot attempt to block this turn. The Piece of Kentmon, political card worth 1 vote, called by a vampire at +1 stealth. Choose a vampire and teleport successfully. Referendum means that the vampires move to the uncontrolled region face down. The vampire's blood counters, master cards, and minion cards stay with that vampire. With any counters they have on them, they are out of play as long as the vampire remains unconscious. Chica the Immortal, or Talkia, whatever. Unique mage with 3 lives, 0 strength, 0 bleed. She may strike for 1 R damage. She may play cards that require basic Quitus or basic Thaunomachi. Blah blah blah. Bleh. Okay, I totally could talk today, I swear. As vampires with a capacity of 3, she gets an optional maneuver each combat. Tainted Vita. Only usable when a vampire controlled by your predator successfully hunts the vampire against 2 additional blood. Put this card on that vampire. You still control this card. The vampire must burn additional blood to attempt to bleed on you. Spiritual Protector. Neek Wraith with 1 life. Spiritual Protector is immune to damage that is non-aggressive. Minions blocked or blocked by this minion with the retainer cannot use equipment in a result of combat. Spiritual intervention, strike, or strike combat ends. So strike, dodge, or end combat. Shepherd's Innocence, +1 stealth action. Take control of a card in play that requires animalism. If it's equipment or a retainer card, place it on any vampire you control. Advance, take control of all cards in play that require animalism. Place the equipment and retainer card on any vampire you control. Sacrifice, political card, worth 1 vote, called by any Sabbat vampire with capacity of 7... above 7 at +1 stealth. Choose a vampire with a capacity below 7 who begins to the same clan as the acting vampire. Successful referendum means the chosen vampire is burned. Ritual challenge, +1 stealth action. If this action is successful, put the card on the acting gangrel. This vampire gets +1 strength. A vampire may have only 1 ritual card. Relevance of the Sire. Requires a ready non-sterling vampire who is not caitiff. Put this card on a younger caitiff. The vampire with this card is now considered to be a member of the same clan as acting vampire. He or she no longer considered caitiff. He or her capacity is increased by 1. Rapid thought. Maneuver or press, only usable during the chosen strike step, and only if the vampire would be choosing his or her strike first instead. The opponent minion chooses his or her strike first. Legacy of Power requires a ready Prince Justicar Inner Circle member. Only usable when another vampire you control enters combat. Tap the reacting vampire and end combat. Each of the vampires involved in that combat go into Torpor. Invitation Acceptance, political card worth 1 vote, called by any vampire at +1 stealth. If this referendum is successful, each follower of Set may choose to be Camarilla. Put this card into play wherever a follower of Set enters play. He or she may choose to be a Camarilla. The following followers of Set clan is a Camarilla clan. Giovanni Acceptance is the same exact thing, excluding with Giovanni. Gangrel, just a card. Political vote worth 1, called by any vampire. Choose already. Gangrel, successful referendum. Okay. Declared a Gangrel just a card is this referendum. Each Gangrel gets an extra vote that could lead to a contested title. Cool. Dirty Little Secret, only usable on successful bleed. For each pool, the Nosferatu attribute bleed for the targeted Methuselah. Burn 1 card from the top of the Methuselah's library. Deal with the Devil. Master. Discard your hand and draw a new card. Do not replace this card until after you've discarded your hand. Covenant of Blood requires a ready non-Camarilla vampire with a capacity of above 7. Put this card in play. Any non-Camarilla vampire may enter combat with any Camarilla vampire controlled by another Methuselah as a direct action. Any vampire may burn this card as D-action. Camarilla vampires get +1 stealth when attempting that action. Business Pressure. Only usable during a referendum. Each Methuselah can burn to gain votes during a resolution of this card. Resolve this card before moving on. A Methuselah gains 2 votes for each pool he or she burns as above, but the Methuselah gains 3 votes for each pool burned. Blood for Bond +1 stealth action. Direct action. Put this card on a vampire. That vampire with a card cannot block this acting vampire. Master, put this card on a vampire with capacity above 6. The vampire cannot have or use any ranged weapons except the ivory bow. If he or she currently has any, they are burned. +1 stealth action, put this card on a title vampire. The vampire title is worth 1 less vote. During a referendum, he or she gets +1 stealth when attempting political actions. This vampire's capacity is reduced by 1. A vampire capacity cannot go below 1. A vampire may have only 1 of this card. And this is Power Base Los Angeles. Master location, unique location. Tap during your discard phase to gain a discard phase action if you use this card. Discard action to discard a card that requires an Anarch or a card that makes a vampire an Anarch. You may untap Ready Anarch. Any Anarch controlled by another Methuselah may steal this location for their direct action. Polaris Coach. Okay, so this one was in the last 10. It's a Vehicle Haven. It moves. You can only have 1. Both Orb of Ula. Unique equipment. The ally with this equipment cannot be acquired by direct actions by these 5 disciplines. Liquidation Master. Do not replace until your discard phase. Burn 7 cards from the top of your library. You gain 3 pool. That's pretty cool. Insurance Scam. Put this card on in play during your turn. You may tap this card. Burn X locations. Gain that much blood. Channel 10, master your unique location. Tap to give a minion you control +2 intercept for the current location not usable on the first action in the minion's phase. Okay, and now we have Carlet Vaughn, Vike, Hunter, unique, mortal with 2 life. He can strike for 1 R damage and may dodge a strike. When each combat, he has 1 intercept when blocking vampires during discard phase. You may burn him to burn a vampire who has committed diablerie this turn. Alright, so we have the Smith. He basically has 1 more strength. He still does 1 R damage. He gets an optional maneuver each combat. Vampire blocking him burn after the combat, if any. He cannot bleed if he is untapped at the start of your turn. Your predator takes control of him. And last, Bull. Convergence, unique item if the bear vampire has aspects. The bear gets +1 intercept if the bear has superior aspect. He or she burns once during each action, get additional intercept for the current action. Thank you so much for watching the box opening of Vampire: The Eternal Struggle 10th Anniversary Set 2 Collector Tin. And the next box opening I'll be doing from Vampire: The Eternal Struggle will be the Bali deck. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. It super helps, and I'll be getting more of these out. Bye!